Hi, welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. RFK dropped out. There's a stunning surprise with his whopping 5% of the votes and being kicked off the rolls in New York because he used a sham address in New York to justify that as his home address. And other states are going to kick him off too. Okay. Now, what's the repercussions of this? RFK has seen his support declining since Kamala Harris took over for Joe Biden. I think he was polling as high as 9%, and now he's down to 5 or 4%. So you can make the argument that maybe people who were undecided and were going to give RFK a chance decided that, oh, Kamala looks normal and gives me hope. I think I'm going to go that way. Kind of the protest vote against Joe Biden dragged some folks back to the Democratic ticket. Or it could also be people that want kind of a cooler, edgier vote, like the party vote that the Democrats are currently throwing and want to be on the party vote. So that 5% could be, folks that voted for Trump before and are willing to go back to Trump. So that could be a big boost for him. What I've read on it is that don't be so sure about that. The fact that these folks moved away from Trump in the first place basically is saying they were crazy. They're crazy, and they chased the new crazy candidate. And while Trump is still crazy, he's not their kind of crazy. It's like ice cream. There's different flavors of crazy. Will some go back to Trump? Yeah, sure. Why not? They're not MAGA types because the MAGA types never leave, So what is it then? It's conservatives who believe in conspiracy theories. Will some go back to Trump? Yeah, some might. But some might go to the Libertarians. Some might go to other parties. Some just may not vote. They were going to get out and vote for RFK, and RFK's not there. And if RFK's not there, then I'm not voting. I'm not going to vote for president. Maybe I'll vote for other things. Maybe they're only going to vote for RFK. But I suspect a number of those 5% just simply aren't going to vote. And it might be more than are going back to Donald Trump. So there is that. Don't lose hope thinking he's going to get like a 5% boost or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen. Additionally, there's who is this? A gentleman by the name of Jennings. Wolf Blitzer was talking with Republican strategist Scott Jennings, who advised former President Trump to be careful as he joined forces with RFK, arguing the independent presidential candidate is kind of a Looney Tune. Really? He's weird, huh? A weird person joining a weird candidacy. Got it. And this guy says, I'm old enough to remember when RFK was a liberal conspiracy theorist, and now he's more of a conservative conspiracy theorist. And a lot of people think he's kind of a Looney Tune. His advice to Trump was, be a little careful here. Don't make him promises you can't back out of because, this could end up biting him in the butt. So let's find out. Let's look at the energy of RFK joining the Trump campaign, because he's a weird candidate, and he's joining the weirdness that is Donald Trump and the weirdness that is J.D. Vance. It's just weird attracting weird. Okay, entertainment purposes only here. RFK and Trump. Knight of Wands. Okay, we're gonna go move forward with this opportunity. RFK is just being an opportunist at this point. There was rumors, I didn't do any research to confirm this, I'll just throw it out there, that he approached the Democrats and said, hey, I'll give you my endorsement for a cabinet post or something like that. And the Democrats decided not to take him up on that opportunity. And so, then he can go to Donald Trump and say, hey, I'll give you my endorsement for a cabinet post. And Donald Trump, the consummate deal maker that he is, took him up on it. Now, there's two things to consider. One, Donald Trump needs all the votes he can get because he always is kicking people out of his party, making it smaller and smaller. And here's an opportunity to actually bring people in, or bring them back, as the case may be. The other thing is, I would trust Donald Trump as far as I could throw him. Just saying. Knight of Wands. Then they got the Eight of Cups, the walking away in the tower. Oh, God. Okay, so as I look at this is Robert F. Kennedy trying to go forward with his campaign and now needing to walk away because it's brought to an end. Now, I was asking about Robert F. Kennedy and Trump, and I think I'm seeing the same thing. He's making that offer to help Trump, but there's this energy of, Trump walking away. It's almost like this deal doesn't matter because it just feels like Trump is going to walk away from this. And it's bringing things to a close. It makes more sense on the short term that this is Robert F. Kennedy and him leaving his campaign is bringing it down. But he's bringing this cataclysmic type energy with him to the Trump campaign. In the past, he got the Chariot. Robert F. Kennedy was, he was driving ahead, and he got to 9% of the vote in certain polls, which is pretty incredible considering the guy is loopy as a loon. But he was resonating with some people. Current situation is the Ace of Cups. The people that support him are passionate in their regard, but they're passionate in conspiracy theories. And just because they're supporting RFK as president doesn't mean they're going to support the candidate that puts RFK in the cabinet position, because they want to see him be the leader, not a follower. So just because Trump says, yeah, I'll put you in my cabinet, I'll make you the secretary, I'll make you the Surgeon General or something like that, that might appeal to some people, but it's not the same thing. They want him to be the president. They want him to lead. Overarching energy is the Three of Wands. Trump, I think, is adding him in. They just want to see, how is this going to impact numbers? Trump's only caring about numbers and crowd sizes here at this point. Lesson we learned is the Seven of Swords. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make it. Now, be careful. It's not going to make a difference. You have to be careful when you make a deal with Trump, because you'll get double crossed the minute. Basically, if RFK doesn't deliver the numbers, Trump he'll ignore him. He won't take his calls, that type of thing. If Trump actually were to get in, he may not support RFK. It's like, oh, you promised me this and you didn't deliver. Why should I deliver you? Screw him like he screws subcontractors out. Oh, God. And they got the Seven of Cups. Now I want to look at this again. I want to look at this again from RFK's point of view. Here's RFK with his campaign that he's now walking away from. It's brought it to an end. He built up momentum. He was, people were passionate behind him. He really wanted to be the president, but he realizes that it's not going to work out. And so now he's just trying to cut a deal that's best for him. But honestly, and we're back to this card with Trump too, he's crazy. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And Trump could bring him in, but he's not going to bring, he doesn't bring anything but his lunacy. He's more emotion than logic, and it doesn't bring the people in on it. There's not good energy that he brings with him. He brings his crazy. He brings his full crazy along with him, but there's just nothing to. I don't think there's nothing to worry about here. I'm laughing as I'm putting my cards back. In case you don't know, when I put the cards back in, I put them in different spots of the deck, because I only draw like 7 cards. I was watching Libby do a reading yesterday, and she called me out and said, yeah, I can't put them in like Dave Tarot by the Bay does into the deck. Libby pulls out like twice as many or 3 times as many cards as I do, and it's fun watching her her readings. First off, I've talked with Libby via Zoom for a little bit when we were looking at Tim Walz, and she was seeing some not great cards for him, maybe health-wise or something like that. Dang, that woman reads cards fast. Oh my God. I'm here, Gary and I plod along. We say the card, we say the meanings, which is helpful if you're not familiar with tarot. But we're also, by saying it out loud, we're trying to sort of get a sense of what feels right. He and I read the same way. You get a sense of what feels right, and then you go with it. Libby's just like, that's all an internal conversation, and it happens like that with her. I feel like the old grandpa, 20 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone. But by only doing 7 cards, I can put them back in the deck at different spots. She's got to just figure out a way to shuffle them so they don't come back in the same spots, clumped together again. Love you, dear. Mwah. All right, back to this. For Carter, will JFK Jr. Help Trump get over the hump? No. He just brings his own form of weird and craziness. This was the outcome card. We'll get some clarifiers on that. We got the Hillbilly Brawl card, the Ten of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Seven of Coins. You reap what you sow. And, if you're going to eat, crazy berries off the crazy berry bush, all you're going to get is crazy sauce. If the grapes you're harvesting off of this have crazy juice, you're just going to have crazy juice to put in your crazy cups. Will it help Trump? Yeah, it's going to help seal the deal. It just sort of, it drives home this whole bit of weird. The weird chickens are coming home to roost in the weird hen house. That type of thing. Underneath the weirdness, you got the Five of Wands, the Hillbilly Brawl card. It's just, the crazy people are just going to be crazy. Will some support Trump? Sure. But if they're not, they're passionate about RFK, just like MAGA is passionate about Trump. If Ron DeSantis were running and he was going to put Trump as, the Secretary of Commerce, that's not exactly going to really rile up the base and really get them voting for DeSantis. You know what I mean? They want Trump to be in charge, not to be the Secretary of Commerce. And then on the other side, you got the childless cat ladies who are just like, no, this is a whole lot of nothing. I really don't see it. Will Trump get a bump? Oh, sure. Yeah, some crazy people might come over. I don't think it's going to be, it's not nearly enough. While it seems like we're surrounded by crazy people, if you were to watch, the TikTok videos of people losing their mind, but they were there for RFK. These folks are probably not exactly the most devoted of voters, shall we say. They're going to vote come hell or high water type of thing. And RFK, motivated them because it's like, oh, you're anti-masker? Yeah. You're anti-vaxxer? Yeah. The earth's flat? Yeah. And, or whatever he was espousing. And I'm sorry about the flat earthers. That's more of a generic thing just to kind of get people to wrap their mind around it. But if he's not in charge, they're not going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go to the polls and vote because Trump is going to put RFK in there for some position we don't know about. And, oh, well, okay. Somebody wanted to ask, I think Gary brought this up yesterday. I'll do just a little quick four-carder. Would Trump make RFK his new VP? Screw the Heritage Society and Project 2025, and I'll make RFK my new VP. Maybe that'll get me that 5% that I need to get over the top. That actually would be the most ironic choice of all. I'm sure Gary and I will do a read on that one, but I'll do a quick little four-carder, and Gary and I will do a deeper read on that one. I'm going over to his house today. It's Saturday, and we'll record a bunch of videos. I'm sure this will be one of them. Short four-carder. RFK for VP. Huzzah! Hey, celebration here. 4 of Swords. 7 of Wands, a choice. Winner takes all. Trump would consider it. He has a choice to make. It just... The energy, this would say yes. You know, tip your cup. I'm sure he's considering it. Because right now he's looking at his campaign as flailing. And it's like almost like I got nothing to lose by doing this. And, you know, he had J.D. Vance forced in on him. And this might be his choice. That would also require Trump hanging around long enough. It would be wild if Trump puts him in and then walks away from the presidency, the running altogether here. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm not voting against it. I'm not betting against it. He might very well consider putting him in there. He'll have to sit and think about it. Trump doesn't think very much. No, basically, who gets in his ear last? If somebody can get in his ear and say, yeah, he'll get you over the top, people will think it's the most brilliant move you've ever made. Yeah, he might do it. Get J.D. Vance to spend more time with his sofa sleeper or something along those lines. Who knows? Entertainment purposes only. Anyways, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.